What's up, everybody?
What's happening, y'all?
We're back again. Daisy is just wilding out on the mic. She's having a good old time. She doesn't go in heat, does she, or is she fixed?
I think she's fixed.
Okay, that's good.
Because I know, like, dogs, they, like, bleed on their periods.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, she doesn't do that, thank God.
Oh, hell no. If my cat started bleeding, I'd cook it and eat it, I think. I'd flambe my cat in a heartbeat if it decided to just bleed because number one, that's a waste of blood. That's a good bone broth.
That's
right
the flavor
there.
Right there. Oh my God.
That's all the flavor. On the floor? What a waste. No, I would never do that. And they don't. I don't think they bleed like that because I had two cats for a while and I didn't get either of them spayed. They were both ladies. And yeah, there was never any blood anywhere other than the blood that they extracted from one another on a regular basis from just the all-out mayhem and fighting. The animosity they had for each other was adorable. It made for some great pictures, clips, whatever. There was one where it looked like they were hugging each other because my bigger cat had the other one in a headlock. That was really sweet. So, but no blood, no. So dogs are nasty. We know dogs are. Cats take care of themselves. They don't bleed on your shit, and they just leave a bunch of hair everywhere. That where if I touch my face, I look like I have COVID. I look like I'm about to be hospitalized. So that was the one drawback. But you hear some laughter in the background, I'm sure, folks, and you're chomping at you're waiting with bated breath to find out who it could be. And I should have asked how to pronounce their last name because it's a tough one. Let me try first. Can I try?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
And you can just lambast me for how wrong it is because I guarantee it. But we have in studio bedroom Mr. Gabe Popescu.
But like honestly, I've heard every fucking iteration of that name. Okay. So like, don't feel bad.
Is it like some kind of Eastern Bloc bullshit? Or?
It's the most common name in Romania, actually.
Okay, good.
So yeah, as long as you don't put an extra O and put poop in there, we're fine. Okay.
Yeah,
that happened to me on the morning announcements in middle school, and I did not live that down for years.
On the announcements, I was going to say you got that a lot in school, just from
No. So surprisingly, no one came up with that until the actual fucking morning announcements were like, "Gabe Popescu, come down to the." You can imagine how that shit went in middle school.
They're like, "Oh, it does. We can."
The other thing they would call me in middle school, which was actually kind of funny, was Gabe Utsex. So
oh wow. See, that's creative. That's almost too creative. I would expect an adult to impart that upon the students, but no, the poop one. I mean, come on. They knew what they were doing. They set you up for failure. That's awful. And I think that's
and now I do comedy. So
and now you do comedy, yes. And that
no lie.
That brings me to my next question, other than how to pronounce your name. I'm such a great host. But how long have you been doing comedy? What got you into it?
About 2 years. I don't know. I never thought I would do comedy growing up. I've always been like a funny guy, like always been a comedy fan, and I always had like a little bit of social anxiety and never thought that like I would do stand-up until I was sitting at home during like the pandemic, and I was just like, I should at least try it, Yeah. And went well enough that I'm still doing it 2 years later. So
that's what's up. Yeah.
And I'm gonna probably continue for the foreseeable future.
Now, kind of what drew me to you was that the first time I saw you, you incorporated your guitar.
Right. I've been playing music since I was a little kid. So at a certain point, it just felt like natural to combine those two.
Yeah. No, and I mean, really creative songs about really edgy subjects, which I'm a sucker for. I mean, I'm a sucker for edgy humor anyways, but with the music element, that kind of That was
right
what
for
sold
people
me.
who normally get offended by edgy jokes. It kind of softens the blow.
It does, yeah, and that's what I found. and I'll tell you that's exactly what I thought, because I've seen you twice, and I as I alluded to, the first time was with the guitar, and the second time was without. And I don't know if that's because you didn't have a guitar stand or what. But
that was just a particularly bad set. I don't know.
no, I mean, but bad or otherwise, however you want to put it, it just was, the response wasn't what it was when you had that, like you said, that softening mechanic.
Right.
To your jokes. Because I think I was one of the few people like got laughing at the shit you were
Which is
saying.
really interesting, because that was the second time that I'd performed in that room. That was at Bar Pilar, right?
Yeah.
So the first time I was there, I did a very similar set, and it killed.
Yeah.
Like they really liked me that first time, and I don't know. That's one of the very interesting things about comedy is that,
it's
like,
luck of the draw. There's a big luck element.
some shit works, same shit won't work.
Yeah.
Same exact shit won't work.
In the same exact room.
Yeah.
I know that night there were a lot of people there for one girl, it seemed like, and as soon as she exited, so did they. So I mean, it's hard to say who's there for the show itself.
Right.
Usually, especially with the open mics, because
It always sucks when one person leaves right
Yeah.
after their set and just takes the entire audience,
whole
with
audience
them.
with them, yeah. And it's a shame, but also I think it's a good thing, just because those people are kind of waiting around. You can tell they're looking at their watches. They're waiting for their person to go up, and then as soon as they leave, you get a genuine sense of who's there for it, and if those people are going to respond positively or negatively to what you're doing.
There's also certain rooms where, like, there's people there, like there's bar regulars, but they're not there to pay attention to comedy.
Oh yeah.
And those
yeah.
rooms are very hit or miss.
For sure.
Because most likely they're not going to be paying attention to you, but if you can say something that gets the bar regulars' attention,
Oh yeah.
they'll fucking love you.
Yeah.
Like, if you can get them to pay attention.
That's like the gold medal, or the big prize everyone's trying to compete for.
I think you were talking about the Dead Horse
That's
room.
exactly what I'm nodding about. That is the most
The
notorious.
first couple times I did that room was awful, and then one day I just managed to say something, I don't even remember what I was, that just got everyone to pay attention to me, and I've had fun in that room since.
I would say the most fun I've had there has been me being just a pussy and playing to the front, playing to the comics, right, and not really giving a shit
Yeah.
about who responds to the back, because I realize if I get enough laughter from the front, it'll trickle to the back eventually, because like one by one, the people at the bar closest to the people laughing will start to be like, what the fuck are they laughing at? And then they'll watch for
Laughter's a little contagious that way.
and it happens to be. So I try to let it trickle back that way when I'm there, and it's worth. And it's usually when I'm super drunk too. It's never when I'm.
Alcohol's definitely a good lubricant for jokes, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, it's an excellent.
I don't know if I
lubricant.
just have a drinking problem, but it certainly helps.
Yeah. It's,
So what got you into comedy? Because you also are a comedian.
yeah, I mean, just being a fan of comedy for forever, really, and wanting to give it a shot. I had that sort of naive thing of, I mean, not thinking that I would be great at it, but thinking I know how to write jokes, or I can figure it out.
Right.
And then the moment you sit down to do it, you realize, oh, this is like not easy, and what's, or coming to the realization that most of the jokes you think you're coming up with are just borrowing from other people's. Like
Sitting down and actually writing is tough.
Yeah.
Like, I need something to just come to me, and then, like, I'll try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I should have, like, a better writing process, I guess, but I'll form that throughout time.
My writing process is like you said, sitting down, trying to write jokes for a set, and then realizing I have to do laundry, and then doing that instead, and then realizing I haven't vacuumed in here. Just doing everything I would never do when I get home from work like I should do. Trying to write things is usually what gets me into
into doing your chores.
into doing my
That's
chores.
fucking funny.
And then when I'm done, I'm like, okay, now fuck, I have to do, but I want to write this song now that I've been putting off.
Oh, if you have a melody in your head, you can't.
I can't do the thing where you sing into your phone and put it down. I'll forget the entire structure of it, all of it.
So do you have any like favorite comedians of all time? Like
favorite of
who inspired you?
I think I just give a list of different people, because it's not just any one person really.
Right.
I like a whole spectrum of people, man. I mean, my family.
They
and
call
I grew
that
up
autism.
They sure do. Oh my god.
No, I'm sorry.
No, you should be. That was awful. I was gonna say, we were talking about before we started that college is really great. If for nothing else, it's great to find out if you have social skills or if you have autism. Like that's really what you're paying for. But I was gonna say that's why they call them School of the Aughts. I think.
School of the Aughts.
Because that's where all the autistic people are. They're trying to figure out how to paint and write poetry that people don't give a shit about. But Bernie Mac was a big influence on my whole family, or at least my the black people. And then beyond that, I mean, personally, I would say I grew up on all the dumb movies like The Mask, so Jim Carrey's a big...
Oh, Jim Carrey's a fucking treasure.
A legend. I mean, I don't know if it's for better or for worse, but all the dumb TV sitcom
I definitely grew up with like South Park, Family Guy.
Yeah, all that.
King of the Hill.
All the cartoons, but I'm talking even the sitcoms like George Lopez.
Oh yeah.
My Wife and Kids. All that kind of... That's what launched me into finding stand-up.
Yeah.
As a kid, and then when I found stand-up, I really lasered in on people like, just the killers, just like Jeff Ross. I'm going to see Anthony Jeselnik in October, so next month.
Anthony Jeselnik is fucking hysterical.
All sorts of people, man. So, and then from that to podcasting, and then podcasting sort of yielded its own group of killer comics I would have never found, like Joey Diaz or Jessica Kirson. Is actually
right. There's certain comics who are much better in a podcast setting than on stage. Like, I don't know, Theo Vaughn, for instance, his stand-up special was all right, but his podcast is fucking hysterical.
Yeah. People have definitely formats that they glow in way more than their chosen path or the thing they might have the most fun doing.
Yeah.
I would say, I think Bill Maher is a great example of somebody who I think should just give up on stand-up. I think it's time to hang it up. Just stick to your, Republican-leaning talk show on fucking HBO, because that's where he makes a killing, and that's where he really shines, because he's able to...
Well, not anymore, because the writers are on strike.
The writers are on strike, sure, but I mean, that's only temporary.
I know what you mean, and I've watched some of Real Time with Bill Maher.
Yeah.
I've given up on trying to find an unbiased news source at the end of the day. Like,
I mean, sure, yeah.
I'll watch all of those like late night shows occasionally just to figure out what's going on, and then I'll watch something from like the other side of the spectrum just to see what like the most radical takes on everything are. Yeah,
well, all I can suggest is that from here on out, you get your news here, the LNC podcast, because we talk about everything that matters. I mean, isn't that right, Lorenzo? I mean, name an important topic that we haven't covered. I mean, the last recording we did, we watched Mitch McConnell totally die on.
I have this. I guess joke that I do on stage where I start my set and then I just freeze up.
Yeah.
For like long enough to confuse people, and then I go like, all right, guys, that was my Mitch McConnell impression.
You don't have a nurse or a secretary to come feed you. Because that would be better if you had a plant in the audience.
That's actually a good point.
Mr. Popescu, did you hear the question, or do you know the next joke? I don't
know. If I did that for my entire 5 minutes and then just be like, all right, guys, that was Mitch McConnell doing stand up, everyone.
That's dedication.
Yeah,
that's dedication. Right
you gotta
there.
have a drink in your hand and then like spill it and shit, slip on it, trip, get a concussion. That's what they tried to say it was, that he had. Those are symptoms of prolonged symptoms of a concussion. I'm not sure when he sustained that concussion.
I mean, I don't even really care what your views are on his politics or anything. At a certain point, someone's just not all there anymore. Yeah. People in Congress should not be there anymore.
Well, that's absolutely elder abuse, because they're only trading on his votability.
Right, it's name recognition at the end of the day. It's incumbent benefits.
Exactly. The incumbent advantage is such that they're willing to put this guy who's probably in no position to walk by himself, let alone make legislation. That's the strength of, like you said, that incumbent.
And my grandfather was born in the 1920s. He passed away this year, but like before he did, he wasn't like entirely all there mentally, but he wasn't like Mitch McConnell, right? Yeah. Like something's going on with him that's like not good.
Oh no, for sure. It's not good at all. It's not good for him. It's not good for the people that are his constituents, the people that vote for him, whether they know it or not. I think they do now, because there was the big thing where he was giving a speech to his constituents and they started chanting.
I see you pulled up that clip, and like I think it would be really funny if they take a clip of him like freezing up and they put in like Curb Your Enthusiasm music over it. Yeah. I think that would be a very funny edit.
The only problem is it would play for the duration of the song, which is probably not a good thing. It has to cut off at some point. It can't loop back around. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up here. But
Larry David's also a fucking genius.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Hilarious, yeah.
I
was trying to think of the name of Curb Your Enthusiasm the other day. I was like, what's that shit called? Larry David?
Yeah.
The Larry David.
I saw a clip of him doing stand-up, I think it was back in the 80s, where he just looked at the crowd, said, nope, and then walked off stage.
Yeah, he's kind of, his stand-up persona, he's kind of like a grumpy guy, or sort of, from what I understand, he just doesn't put up with shit. So if he doesn't think he's going to do well, he's going to complain about it, and he's going to, like you said, like stage right, exit immediately. So, but I love the show. I only just watched the show, or started it maybe a year ago, so I'm pretty late to it. But
I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is Seinfeld on steroids.
Yeah, absolutely.
The lack of a laugh track also makes it better, and the fact that it's on HBO, he can get away with saying curse words and shit, makes it funnier.
No, but you mean Max?
Max, yeah.
Max.
Of course.
Don't have HBO fucking, checking us. They about to rust the goddamn bedroom and say it again.
We're gonna take down our entire podcast because we didn't call their streaming service by the right moniker. Yeah. So we watched a little bit of this, like I said on the last recording, but I mean, you can just see here, he's not there.
Okay.
Senator, you're up for election in 3 short years. What are your thoughts on that?
What are your thoughts on re-election?
I'm sorry, I had a hard time hearing you.
Nice save. He had a hard time hearing. That's
what
okay.
Are your thoughts
we get
on running for re-election?
I mean, I'm sure he also has a hard time hearing.
Running for re-election in 2026.
He kind of looks like that like cartoon worm with the glasses that comes out of an apple. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's just what he's always looked like to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's a politician, so I mean, he's just sort of.
He's a reptilian. We all know.
Worm qualities. This is somebody you want to play checkers with by the window, or under the pavilion of the retirement community, or you want to bring him, his favorite candy bar once a week and a story about work, and then you trade story. Because, I mean, Mitch McConnell, our friend Cameron brought up, he was born before World War II ended.
Before it ended? So he was born in what, the 30s, 40s?
I mean, he had to have been late 40s. So that
makes him younger than I thought he was.
Really? You thought he was?
Damn.
I mean, he looks like he was born during World War I, honestly.
But that's saying something, because it's, no matter how old, he's still old enough. He's too old to be doing this. He's too old to maintain a coherent thought, and it's time to go. So, I mean, say what you will.
He was born in 1942.
Yeah, okay. 42. So what, it ended in 45, 40.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he might remember a thing or two that, if he could remember, if he had the...
What if Mitch McConnell's first memory is Hitler committing suicide?
Yeah, and that might have been what set him on this path, honestly. Oh no, I think we lost Lorenzo here. Oh, you back?
I've returned.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi cuts in and out, so it's definitely me, but I'm so glad you're back. We were saying that I'm sure his first thought, Gabe was saying...
Mitch McConnell's first memory realistically could have been Hitler's suicide.
Yeah. So... That's probably what he's thinking about right now, in fact.
If you think about it, technically, Hitler never survived the Holocaust.
Oh, damn. But wasn't he Jewish too?
Was he? I don't think he was.
It's just like part. People throw that around. It's like a faux conspiracy, but if he was, it was only, a sliver. It wasn't enough to get him in trouble.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been enough to make him kill himself or anything.
Oh my God.
No, what if he did a fucking... That's why he did it. He did like a DNA test, like Ancestry.com or something.
Hitler killed himself because of Ancestry.com. Or maybe someone went back in time and showed him 21 Jump Street, and he's like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" Yeah.
Enough is enough. I thought you said AnneFrankStreet.com. I'm not even joking. I thought that's what you said.
Okay.
I did not see that coming.
It is now. Shit. Done. We have a lot that I put in the document here to talk about.
Speaking of Anne Frank, I just remembered I was in high school one time and I almost got suspended over a joke that I made to the teacher, because the teacher was telling us that the Boy in the Striped Pajamas is a very good movie, but also a tearjerker, and we would need tissues for it. And then I raised my hand and asked if I would need lotion for it too, and the teacher did not fucking like that.
Okay.
Oh my God. You were...
What grade again?
That was in like 11th grade.
Oh, no, it's not too bad.
You said that about it?
Like if you were in middle school, then
right.
It's cause for concern, but no, okay. You're almost a
that
senior.
Early at that age?
Yeah.
And now I do comedy.
Well, it would be alarming if a kid this age said anything like that, but let's see. This is just too wholesome for anything like that to happen. But let's take a look here at this video. I just saw this today. It really, it made me smile.
Here with you to celebrate these amazing birthday stars. Now, for those of you who don't know, when you celebrate your birthday at Chuck E. Cheese's, you are the star of the show.
So this little girl is up front by the stage, and she's trying with all her might to get Chucky's attention. She's at a Chuck E. Cheese, for the listeners, and he is just not having it. He's not acknowledging her, and when he does, he just sort of brushes her off and does one of these. So he had to have seen that she's reaching out in earnest for a high five, a handshake, just a greeting of any kind, really, from Chucky, and she's not getting it.
In fact, on the count of three, let's
He's waving. He's going out of his way now to wave at the other children on stage, but he won't have it for such a peasant down at the front looking on. I mean, I think it's because it's a birthday celebration and it's not this girl's birthday. And honestly, I want to put this out there. This is a guy who has integrity in the costume, right? I mean, I'm not far off, because he cares. He cares enough to say, no, ma'am, it's not your birthday. You don't get a high five. You don't get shit. You don't get anything. You shouldn't even be here. I mean, thank God. Thank somebody, your mom, whoever brought you here, that you think you belong here at all, right? Maybe this is one of your friends' birthday parties.
I wonder if he told her to go back to the basketball game.
Maybe. Something along those lines, because I'm seeing in the caption here that the mom is threatening to sue over this. I mean, please, can we give me a break? And I mean,
So I mean, it's a little fucked up. But what would the lawsuit be?
Chuck E. Cheese didn't high five my daughter, whose birthday it wasn't, who wasn't special for any reason other than being there. I mean, grow up. And this is a great lesson in growth, in character development, and she's got a long way to go if she's going to get offended at the fact that nobody gives a shit about her for not being special or doing anything for anybody at all in this instance. I mean, what wealth or value does she provide in this moment? I mean, other than to be a nuisance and demand a high five. I mean, that's potential energy that you're asking me to waste.
You know how exhausting it is to raise my arm and then push it.
Yes.
I mean, shit, I've been ignored by Chuck E. Cheese before, too. It's like, he's not there for you.
And I mean, they used to just be animatronics. So, I mean, just be glad that it's not a creepy-ass Five Nights at Freddy's situation and that it's a real person ignoring you. I mean, that's the least you could ask for, I think.
A great big happy birthday! One.
Yeah, so the manager tried to say that.
I'm sure it's also actually very hard to see out of those costumes. Like, all jokes aside, I'm sure maybe he was just fucking exhausted or...
It's passable, but I'll tell you right now it's a cop-out because he did see her, and what he did was... He literally did one of the... You can't rewind these because YouTube and TikTok are totally fucked. You can't. There's no scroll bar.
I also like how YouTube is copying TikToks.
Oh, yeah. YouTube is Instagram, is Facebook, is Snapchat, is TikTok now. Everyone's trying to compete for the short form content like this, and they all across the board, except for Meta, Facebook and Instagram have it right with a scroll bar, with a scrub bar at the bottom, so that I can go back and show you the exact.
Instagram
frame.
Used to not have that too.
No, but they do now.
Yeah, which I'm very glad about because
I think that's where they take the lead. I think really in the race to users, this is where.
But I also think it's crazy how short form content is actually like destroying people's attention spans. Have you noticed that?
A little bit, and people like Lil Miss here are growing up on it too. So I think it's really just doing a number on people's childhood development as well, which is a great sign, a great sign of the times.
It's like instant gratification.
And she thinks by putting her hand out toward Chucky, it's from TikTok that she thinks this, that she's going to get a response
I can tell that's what
immediately.
the captions look like.
No, but no, I'm saying.
I see what you mean.
She's so used to, when I swipe, I see the next video. Or when I double click, I like. When I comment, I get a reply. When I stick my hand out for a high five, I get a high five. Chucky is teaching her, like I said, this is an important lesson that needs to be, that's not being taught. That's not being taught online, certainly not. Yeah, so there she is in the picture. She got what she wanted, but she got what she wanted. She got more. She got a photo op. You're gonna sue? You're really gonna sue?
Now the roles are reversed, and Chucky's like, but she's
she's like, yeah, bitch. I know you weren't too thrilled to take this picture with me a second ago. I think it's because she knows it was racist. I think that's why. She understands. And I can't scroll back, but thankfully it's going to loop around here so we can see all the kids on the stage here are not, shall we say,
now, for those of you who don't know,
going to that basketball court later, right? Hands over. See? Just look at that. You saw that? The little hand gesture? I'm spending way too much time on this. It's just so fascinating to me. The way it'll, like, from 12 different angles, people will pick this apart. He didn't see her. God. He saw her. He did this to, like, get her out of here. The classic.
Have you ever seen Chuck E. Cheese's backstory?
No.
Because his full name, and it's wild how deep the lore goes, but it's Charles Entertainment Cheese, and apparently he was an orphan and doesn't know his own birthday, so now he like dedicated his life to doing birthday parties for other kids.
Cool. My fucking God, that's a little. He needs a therapist.
I found way too much Chuck E. Cheese lore. Just on a weird internet rabbit hole one day.
People take it too deep.
Did you look that up during COVID?
What?
Did you look that up during COVID? You were just bored at home and you were like,
a lot of Wikipedia random article. I would just get really high and see what the first Wikipedia random article would be.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, those Wikipedia they're atrocious because there's 50 links on each page. You're like, ooh, what's this link? Oh, what's this link? Oh my gosh, no. Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's a recipe for a good rabbit hole there on Wikipedia and Reddit too. This is where I'm at now, trying to pull up our next clip here.
Reddit?
I would usually go on like YouTube rabbit holes of like music growing up. That's how I got into like really weird metal, honestly. But
I pulled this one for you specifically, Lorenzo. I don't know. Are you into anime at all, Gabe, or anything like that?
not particularly.
Yeah, me neither. So, but I knew Lorenzo would like this because he's an anime fan. This was just a really cool drawing that I saw today on Reddit. So we'll then take a look here and just see if you appreciate it the way I did. Maybe there's music playing, so there's no sound. But I mean, already off to a great start. Yeah. What do you think it's going to be?
I saw the NSFW tag.
I mean, how great is that?
I thought this was about to be a drawing of one guy, one jar.
Yeah. I mean, what a talent. A nice sketch, too. Pencil, stencil drawing here. From start to finish. You knew it was going to get there from here. So, yeah, anyway, I thought that was pretty awesome. What else do we have?
What subreddit is that on?
That's, I think, unexpected. Yeah.
Okay.
r/unexpected.
Send me the link. Send me the link. That's how you know something good. Hey, send me the link.
What's this one here? Some nice country bitches fighting in at a concert, it seems like.
Ooh, Morgan Wallen.
Yeah, here we go. Let's get this on screen.
Also, it's crazy how like country music is, according to Billboard, the most popular type of music right now.
Shut the fuck up. I mean, honestly. And that's how you know shit's rigged. What's this guy's name?
I think I saw
Oliver
this.
Anthony?
I saw this theory, which makes sense. There's like more internet in rural parts of the country, so I think now they're just streaming. Their listens are counting more now.
Oh,
I think that's where it's coming from.
Does it really work like that? Because I mean, people are streaming on data all the time, and there's more people in concentrated.
I'm not sure. But
liberal cities than there are in these dumb fucking.
Are they using certain apps to?
Like Stafford.
Yeah. I'm the only person with a computer in all of Stanford. I just want to put that out there right now. If you're not at a store, you're nowhere near a computer. So this is a Morgan Wallen thing, and they're in a porta-potty having a grand old time, it seems like. Yeah. So this lady's fighting for her life, trying to get out. What are you doing if people are piling into a porta-potty trying to fight?
Is she even involved in that?
I don't think so. She's trying to, sidesteps out of there real fast.
This is exactly how I pictured a Morgan Wallen concert.
Nice.
And when I hear his music, I kind of think of the smell of a porta-potty. So, wait, I want to see the rest of this video.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're going at it. I'm not sure what incited the argument or the fight here, but it needed to take place in a porta-potty. It needed to take place in a porta-john where there's, like you said, that nice Morgan Wallen stench, the shit, the flies, I'm sure, are there.
I'm not gonna lie. You probably can't put her head in there.
Two girls, one John.
Oh, well, that's what I labeled it in the document. I said new porn category, ? Because this is, I mean, there's something here. I mean, whether you like it or not, there's something here for someone. Somebody loves this. Somebody never thought this was possible to see it.
That one guy pulling them out probably has a massive erection right now.
Ladies, please. I know it smells like shit and it's making me feel some type of way right now, but y'all are in fucking cowboy boots, for crying out loud. Somebody's gonna trip and break something. That might also get me feeling weird too. If y'all break a foot, perhaps in the scuffle, I'm not sure how to feel about that, but I could need to take some clothes off at some point.
Oh, nice.
She's kicking with the very feet that were sliding on the piss in there. I mean, this is a hoedown.
This
like
is
no
art.
Other.
This could be an avant-garde art piece, honestly.
Yeah, we were talking about art schools earlier. I mean, let's go ahead and put this on full display somewhere in an exhibit. where it belongs. We got the Wallen merch.
I figure out what's going on. What the fuck?
Oh, slam.
Was she even involved?
I think so.
There's definitely... They're all drunk as shit. That's the explanation.
I just love how everyone has these fucking boots on. God damn. What are these called again? I almost called them 10
Cowboy boots?
No, but I mean, there's like a name for cowboy boots, like some dumb redneck name.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When I stayed in Virginia, literally every girl had cowboy boots.
Yeah. And I'm sure they would know what to really call them, but I don't. And that just goes to show that I would never be in a position like this. I would never. You wouldn't catch me in a porta-potty if I didn't have to be.
No, actually.
Yeah, I generally avoid porta potties.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the sense of urgency that you have to wail on somebody inside of one? I mean, like, what happens if you slip and eat shit? Like, literally eat shit in there. Like, if you end up face down. Yeah, she was probably
trying to put her head in there.
Oh, probably. Yeah,
that's done. You can't escape the porta potty. If that shit were to happen to me and my head is in the porta potty, that other person is not leaving the porta potty ever.
That's their new home.
I swear. They're not leaving the porta potty.
Cripple you. You're gonna live here.
I'm ending you. You're not leaving the porta potty. I swear to God.
Man, but I thought that was wild. I was like, there's no situation that warrants this. Y'all can just take it outside. Just take it away from there.
That's like some Waffle House activity, but in a porta potty.
Absolutely. I made a joke recently at a mic, at the last mic I was at. I was talking about, because I'm half black, and I was up there as the black advocate, somebody who was there to disprove black stereotypes, right? Because I had a feeling a lot of the white people in the audience had some preconceived notions about my better race. And obviously one of them was that black people can't swim. And that just can't be further from the truth, as evidenced by the video everyone's seen at this point, the Montgomery brawl incident. I mean, we know, so now totally and completely disproven black people can 100% swim. But another one was that black don't crack. And that's not true either, because I'm pretty sure that's how Whitney Houston drowned. She cracked a little too hard. Shit. You know, so I think.
Or did she drown because she couldn't swim?
But I was just gonna say, and that's we know it's not because she couldn't swim. We know for a fact that and maybe in that fight video too, if there were more like Oceanside Walmarts or Waffle Houses, we might have known sooner that black people can in fact swim. But it's just that there weren't any fights stationed nearby bodies of water.
An Oceanside Waffle House or a Walmart just sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. There was another one that I added to the list, that black men specifically are like well endowed, that they have big dicks. And I just kind of left that one alone because I don't think it's right to speculate. I don't know enough. So that's what I'm saying. My dick's fine. It's totally fine. What else do we have on here? Oh, this guy's awesome. This guy's doing the absolute fucking most. Oh, wait, no. How did I get here? What the fuck?
Is that Macaulay Culkin when he was young?
It does look like it. I was watching this earlier. We'll just do this instead, although disappointing because I don't have the one I wanted. This is this trend of people pretending to be statues.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, I mean, and then people go fuck with them and find out.
Mitch McConnell's been doing that trend too.
He just needs the body paint. That's what he's missing. Yeah, he's practicing. Oh man, no, what I wanted was a video of a guy driving with his feet. Have you seen this video of a guy?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Driving,
a friend of mine sent me that.
Like, holy shit.
The Uber driver without arms.
Yeah. And that's the guy in the back seat. The caption is, "My Uber has no arms," and he's like crying because he thinks he's gonna pass away on camera. But I'm sure he got to his destination.
I mean, look, that guy has to have been driving with his feet, because it didn't look like his arms were amputated. It looked like that was a birth defect. So if he was driving that way, if he's been driving that way his whole life, I'm sure you get good at it.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking as well.
I mean, you would have to, but that was going to be my question, right? Is like,
eat my feet, Uberman.
my question when I pulled it up was going to be like, how do you get a driver's license? Like you're impaired like that your whole life, and like you said, he must have been driving like that his whole life because he didn't have a choice. But how do you qualify? I mean, I guess it's a thing. Here's another person doing it. I'm sure as long as you pass.
I remember when I was getting my license, I think all you need is 2 limbs and 1 eye.
Really? Wow.
But
Safety's important when driving.
I mean, I don't know if you can prove to a driver's instructor that you can pass the test like that. I don't see why you shouldn't be able to get a driver's license.
Because she's putting her seatbelt on.
Now, she shouldn't get a driver's license because she's a woman, but that's a...
Well, that
I'm kidding. But
and I wholeheartedly agree. I couldn't agree more. You might be my favorite guest. So I'm not even joking. We agree on so many things.
That's definitely gonna be a clip.
But no, I mean, she's putting her seatbelt on with her foot, which I mean, she's already doing more than most. So I mean, you got to give it to her. The safety's foremost here. It does look like it's a little bit of a hassle. And this, again, totally different video. This isn't what I intended to pull up. I intended to pull up a guy in the backseat of a cab or an Uber who was picked up by somebody who didn't have arms. So
my question is, I guess they use 1 leg for the pedals and 1 leg for the steering wheel?
That's what I was saying too. I'm like, how can that work?
Well, it's a good thing that they have automatic shifts in cars now.
Yeah,
they wouldn't be able to drive a stick.
That's what I'm saying. You have to change gears somehow, and I guess like what you're saying would be the solution. I suppose. In any case, it does seem like you're doing a lot. It doesn't seem. What happens if you need to swerve in an instant? You know, the way that drivers have to react to things in real time. You know, what is a person like this doing, right? I mean, because I get driving in perfect circumstances at all times with 2 limbs would work, but it's the same reason why driverless cars aren't entirely feasible yet. It's because they're not able to react with that hairpin timing that you need to be a driver, especially on dangerous roads. So I don't know. It's kind of, but hey, if they make it work, and
I think self-driving cars are definitely gonna happen, but I think that in order for them to like feasibly happen, there needs to be only driver cars or only driverless cars, because then if you mix the two from a legal standpoint, you're never gonna be able to do liability or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's just not going to happen anytime soon, sadly, just because people will never forego, and it's not sad. I don't ever want to give up the ability to drive my car, for one. So I mean, but I say the prospect of driverless cars functioning properly at all times is probably not happening anytime soon, because those circumstances aren't possible. They're not attainable. If people care about their guns as much as they do, they're not giving up their ability to drive anytime soon in any area.
Now, I think somebody said one shit. I think it was Rick Ross actually, and he was like, what if I get the automatic car and they just change my GPS and ship me over to the fucking government or some shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, changing GPS and take my ass. I'll pull up to the jail and shit, and the doors don't open, so the cops is surrounded me and shit. You know what I'm saying?
If driverless cars happen, then I can't drive drunk anymore, and there goes my favorite pastime. So,
man, you're absolutely right. That does suck. What a loss.
I ain't gonna lie. I've never done that before. That sounds interesting.
The main reason why I like driving is just knowing that I have the option to run over annoying people, like the ones in this. So I'm pulling up a video that's going to lead into a more extended discussion on a topic that I've had on my mind for a while. I've just been seeing so many videos of these climate protesters in the middle of the street. Have you seen this when they block traffic? Yeah, so
that's not going to change anyone's mind.
No, it's not going to change anyone's mind, or it might even invite people to hate your cause and want to kill you.
As far as I know, I think the cause they're behind is like a pretty good cause, but road rage is bad, and this is just making road rage worse.
It's going to make it worse. It's going to make people want gas stoves. It's going to make people want to get diesel engines on their now pickup trucks because they're just going to want to destroy the earth at a more rapid pace. I mean, look at these people, the audacity to stand and block. Thank God for this kid here.
Yep.
And it's a trend because I noticed these skull symbols or whatever the fuck the symbol is. A lot of the people with the reflective jackets in the protests have this symbol on, and I think it's a symbol for the last generation is what the group is called. But I see this a lot. He is just snatching their banners and taking matters into his own hands here. All the honking is not at the protesters, it's in support of this kid.
Wait, where is this? Because that's a European driver.
I want to say this is London or somewhere in Scotland maybe, but it's in the UK, or formerly the UK.
Okay.
Damn. I'm surprised they're not fighting back.
Yeah. Well, it's non-violent.
And they definitely drive more recklessly in Europe than they do in America.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, but I don't have any videos of people being hit, but I've seen a couple where people go absolutely flying with the reflective vest, everything, the blue hair, and they just eat shit because there's no room for you to be blocking traffic like this. I have another one somewhere here.
I'm hitting somebody with my shit.
Oh, 100%. Oh, without a doubt. But if you had a driverless car, it wouldn't let you. It would stop because there's a person in the way. I mean, well, first of all, that's the problem. They're in my way. So now what's the solution? Hit them, cripple them, hospitalize them immediately. We'll get the ambulance here. If it can get here due to the fucking problem you've created, the traffic problem, that would be your fault if we can't get you into an ambulance. But I love having the liberty of forcing you to be
inconvenienced by your own choices.
Yes, I just want to paralyze you when you do some shit like that. Now there was this one here. Yeah, I like this one because this is more relatable because they're American and European shit doesn't matter as much. But this is in Maryland. It looks like
Maryland people.
Well, they already can't drive. It's the problem. So they don't know how to drive, let alone driving well or getting where they need to go.
I'm not gonna say I would want to like cripple anyone. It's just I just think this is stupid.
No,
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm doing something that anyone who's in my way. I'm picking, son. You moving? Or
you're going down on the guest.
I think it would be.
You were up here, now you're sort of in the. Because I want to.
I would get out of my car and do bad stand up at them until I bore them and they walk away.
The problem is they're already sort of doing that with the pamphlets and the dumb cause or whatever. And like you said, it's a good cause. It's not anymore. It stops to be a good cause when you're holding up traffic like this. And really, I think
honestly, that's increasing emissions, if nothing else.
People idling in their vehicles for longer than they need to be on a highway, absolutely it is. And really, go ahead.
I'd be so pissed because I'm thinking about it now. I was like, in my head, I was like, this can't be Maryland because Maryland drivers are not like this. We're not patient people. But now I'm thinking about all the times I've been in traffic because myself, if I'm at the front, I'm hopping out, I'm moving this shit. Yeah. But I'm like, what if I'm in the back of this shit or way back in the middle and I don't know what's stopping us?
Yeah.
Is this the shit the whole time?
Yeah, well, it's stuff like this. Usually it's because, I don't know, somebody like died or something, which also bad. Don't do that. I mean, how fucking inconsiderate. That's another joke of mine, by the way, is that it's always nice to see that people can erect those little crosses on the side of the road for people who pass away in like car-related accidents.
Certainly make me erect. No. Oh, man. That was horrible.
Come on.
But
I didn't think of that sooner. That's fucking fantastic. But it's nice to see, it's wholesome. And the families they leave flowers and visit but I feel like they're obligated almost to include like a plaque or a sign of some kind. Big enough to house all the names of the people that were held up in traffic that day as a result of the killing of the accident. So I mean, but this is different entirely. Like somebody dies, sure, there's a reason a real reason, I guess if you can call it that, still unacceptable. But this is just, these are alive people that are asking to be killed. They're asking me to affix some kind of Mad Max style buzzsaw onto the front of my car, onto the front bumper, and just take them down.
I was thinking that shit.
We're in the United States here. There are gun owners. I mean, have you no shame or fear, anything at all? And they're going to justify that this needs to happen because the world is dying. This is our last chance to save it. I don't care if I die as a result. But then they're going to be pussies, and as soon as somebody walks up to them and does something and acts back, they're going to be like, oh, it's nonviolent. It's this, we're not doing anything. This is nonviolent. I don't know why you're so mad. Why are you so upset? And you'll see right here why these guys are incredibly irate. You'll see just why.
There's definitely shit we need to do for the environment, but I don't know if this is how I'd go about it.
Not like this. And listen to this guy here. He's saying exactly why he's pissed here.
And y'all are so inconsiderate. $4.95. Yo. We're live streaming right now. One lane. I'm asking.
Those are also all white people with too much time on their hands.
That too. Yeah. That's also a fun element when you see people, retirees too. That's always nice. But the kids, I never do understand. I'm like, don't you have somewhere to be or somebody to be like fucking or something? Like if you're a kid.
I thought it was really goofy when those protesters were like spilling soup on the Mona Lisa and shit.
Oh, that's harmless. Do that.
That shit was so goofy.
Do that and then get executed. Fine, but don't keep ordinary people, the people whose minds and hearts you're trying to change. And this guy here chastising the protesters is saying that he needs to get to work desperately, or else he's gonna it's some type of parole violation, right? Him being out there for too long, and he'll get arrested. And I don't know if he has kids or what. I think this is his girlfriend here trying to explain to them that he needs to be somewhere urgently, and they're holding this up. There's another video of a guy.
Well, if anything, this video would exonerate him, hopefully.
Yeah, and I'm sure it would, because, they can just show this to his parole officer or whatever. He's trying to get somewhere, and these dipshits are blocking the path. But they go and they, of course, try and disband when they're seated. A lot of people, what they'll do now is instead, and this is in more extreme places like Germany, but they'll glue themselves to the pavement because they're like, well, you can't move me now.
Oh, I've heard about that. I haven't seen any of it.
Yeah,
but
look at this shit, man. It's absolutely wild. This guy's got asphalt for a
The guy looks like the character from Half-Life 2.
I've never played it. Never. He does look like some kind of like depressed John Green knockoff, spin-off, just like some guy who knows what he's talking about climate change, but obviously not enough about glue or what type you can or can't get off of your hand with some kind of solvent. He's just stuck like that because he used some type of.
Is that on r/facepalm?
It should be, because
oh my God.
Or
I thought it was
because it looks like that's what it says in the
r/corner facepalm.
r/facepalm. That's ironic.
Face fault. Fucking.
He can't facepalm.
He can't anymore. It's been deprived. There's one. I was gonna say there's this one of a guy. Oh man, yeah, this one here. I don't know if this is also climate related, but it's another. This was the first video I ever saw of this, when I was like, are people really doing this to, champion their causes? And like you said, the bat stand up, that's what you would do. I mean, they're out here singing like shit, these dumb little fucking campfire songs.
I mean, I have a car radio. I can turn up like some really weird music for them. I can just play Ram Ranch on loop for 6 hours.
Okay, you're back up here. You're at the top again. We're just talking about my friend and I, who came on yesterday. He started listening to, unironically, oh my God, what's the other country one? Da, 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 da. He fucks me in my pussy.
I know what I'm fucking talking about.
I've already forgot the name, but oh my God, I'd pull it up if I could even think of the name. But he just started listening to that, and things like it in Ram Ranch, unironically, because like he has the playlist queued up, and it'll just
unironically is a bit much. I definitely like to whenever I'm on aux, I like to play Ram Rancher Roulette and just have it in a playlist and see if it comes up.
Yeah.
But
no. It is, yeah, that's a good way to discover more things like that. But they're doing just nonsense here on the crosswalk. There's two angles, so that somebody's recording from a window above and another person is recording on the street. I think one of the protesters is it's the one right here in the red who we see the perspective from on the left here. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happens here. This guy comes up in scrubs. So he needs to get, it looks like, to some sort, like a hospital maybe, or some type of clinic to help people. Yeah. Right? You got to think about the EMS personnel. I'll venture to guess that this is American or maybe Canadian, but still, this is a dialect we understand very clearly. Get the fuck out of the way. And he takes this lady's phone who's recording and he throws it, so she has to go get it. And I mean, just really strategic on his part. Take their shit, throw it to where they need to disband, and go gather it, and then get everybody moving. So, I mean, good on his part. Good on him. Anyway, let me see. I'm really excited to see this happen near me. If I see this shit on 95 and I'm at the front or I'm close enough to the front to recognize what's going on, like that I don't know it's a police blockade or something, I mean, that's why you conceal carry, I think. It's for moments like those. I mean, truly, without a doubt. I don't think there's much else we have to talk about, really. We've had a fun time up to this point. Next time you come through, you'll have to do some jokes for us or bring your guitar through and try some songs, something, you know.
And, if you ever want to jam...
I would absolutely love to jam. I have a trumpet here, a keyboard, an accordion back there. I've got a beater, French horn, a guitar. So, I mean, we've got enough for a band. I have an electric drum set that's folded up somewhere. So, could absolutely make something happen.
Just to plug like my music, yes. I do have a profile on Spotify and on Apple Music, wherever you listen to music. Sir, S-I-R, Cumcision.
Wow.
Something about me not being able to take music seriously leading me to stand up. But really weird shit that I recorded in my bedroom.
What would you like to preview any of it or
just... Nah, it's C-U-M.
C-U.
C-U. Go back. Sir.
I'm so fucking stupid. Is it?
Yeah, that one.
Awesome.
You don't need to play any of it right now, but
I'll definitely give it a listen later. I'm real excited. Oh yeah, you've got. Okay, we got some stuff here. Awesome. And is there any Instagram, anything you want to plug as well?
Instagram, 50 Shades of Gabe 98. I know you follow me. That's where I promote my comedy at.
That's what's up. 50 Shades of Gabe.
It's like spelled out 50.
Oh, 50, I see. There you are. Boom. Beautiful. Yeah, well, thank you for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
I do appreciate it. We'll catch you out and about, I'm sure. I'll be hitting some mics this week. I'm on at both the Woodbridge ones, or both the Electric Palm ones this upcoming week. I will be, after that, on the same night, Tuesday night, I'll be at Brandon Moore's new mic, Last Laugh, also in Woodbridge. It's at an area called Tackett's Mill at the Clear Brook Arts Center. That's a fun one. It starts at 8 or 8:30, and it's a BYOB, so come through, bring your own drinks, have a good time. They record it in HD and send it to you when they get the chance. It's a really good opportunity to get some stuff on camera. Wednesday, I'm hoping to be, so I'll be at the Riff Mic. I'm on the list, but I'll try and go somewhere else after. Thursday, I'm going to try to be at Hooters in Woodbridge with Shevitz Wichard's mic. That was a fun one. I did that a couple weeks ago. And then
Is there a mic at Hooters?
There is, yes. The one in Woodbridge. It used to be in Manassas. Like I said, the guy Shevitz Wichard, pardon me.
I think I've heard the name.
He's friends with Dwayne from the Electric Palm. They co MC the Riff Mic if you've been.
Okay. I still need to check out that Riff Mic.
Yeah.
But
it's fun. They pull topics out of a hat for you to talk about, and they roast you all throughout. Not to brag, but I won the last one. So
oh, good shit.
Thank you. They really gave it to me because I hadn't won before, and everyone who did better had already won probably 3 or 4 times. So, but I'd still an accolade nonetheless.
Good shit, man. You got mercy ruled.
Yeah, I sure did. I sure did. And I was going to say, starting September 11th, never forget, I'll be at M. Fisk's Mike with Cheers Comedy, co-producing with her. She has invited me to help run her open mic every other week.
So the food there's pretty good.
I love that. Fat Pete's Barbecue, yes sir.
It's just hard to get on the list. Like, I've tried to sign up for reserved spots like so many weeks in a row.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, if you don't sign up the moment it comes out, yeah, I've had the same experience. It fills up. But there are, I want to say, about 10 walk-in spots usually. It does fluctuate. Sometimes it'll be 5, sometimes it's 10. It just depends on how many people call out. And typically the average is 5 to 10 spots. So if you do get there right at 7:30 or just a little before, so you can wait by the table where all the comics stand, you'll get on that walk-in list for sure.
I'm gonna try to do that.
Yeah. So after this, we just do a little segment where Lorenzo gives us some advice. He gives advice to the people who we've watched in these precarious situations. Anything anyone needs to hear, really. So go ahead and take it away.
I got some advice for the people.
Yeah.
First off, watch your back, especially if there's porta potties near, because you never know who's gonna try to do you one. Yeah. Don't get caught fighting in the porta potty. Mm-hmm. And if you are fighting in the porta potty, you still be vigilant, or you get snatched up. Because that one girl in the blue, I was trying to figure out whose side she was on, but she beat both of them up. Because they try to, and when you go to a porta potty, lock the door. Some motherfuckers don't come in there fighting while you trying to take a piss. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing too. You figure shitting.
I don't know.
I
feel like the advice is to just not go to a Morgan Wallen.
Maybe it might be the case. It might be because shitting is like a sanctuary. That's the safest place you imagined, right? I mean, when you're vulnerable like that, like you said, you lock the door, you're secure. But to think that somebody could come in with have an all-out brawl, all-out mayhem over your lap while you're taking a fat one, like that's not okay. That's not okay at all. And that's actually absolutely on Morgan Wallen for sure for fostering that sort of environment. I mean, anything else that people need to hear? What about those protesters? Shit.
Don't be protesting in the fucking road, because if I see you, I'm speeding the fuck up.
Yeah.
You're not doing shit. Go to the goddamn companies and some shit. Why are you harassing everyday fucking people?
Yeah.
You fucking, like, I'm sure the cause is good, but you don't know what you're doing, and you're a fucking idiot. Go stand in front of buildings where important people go and stop them on their way in. Don't hold up traffic, because I swear, son, I swear, if I'm stuck, because if I'm in the front, I'm gonna get you. But if I'm not in the front and I find out that I was in a traffic jam that was caused by you, I'm going to find every single one of you.
The one saving grace with those types of people is that they're also abortion advocates, pro-abortion, and that the saving grace is that we know that going forward we can start to handle those people very early on. Sort of. I mean,
if you throw, I bet they're all vegans. If you throw an Impossible patty into the road, they'll all disperse to
salvage it.
Like Scooby snacks.
Yeah, like vultures. All right.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much, Gabe, for stopping by. You're welcome back anytime.
Thanks for having me.
This has been a blast. All right, y'all. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.